got some high-key cringe here. So, recently, I have come out as a hashtag Force the Vote supporter. I support hashtag the vote. Just as Jimmy Dore said in his famous clip, right?
They show up today at our town halls who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers.
Right, so I'm endorsing hashtag the vote. Not to be confused with hashtag Force the Vote. I endorse hashtag the vote. And so basically, anyway, so Bernie Sanders came out saying that he is going to force a vote on a $15 minimum wage in the Senate. And now, one of our favorite people with main character syndrome, Brianna Joy Gray, posts this extremely bizarre GIF of the Grinch. Meanwhile, on the day that Dr. Seuss was canceled, can you believe it? But anyway, so she posts this bizarre image, again, main character syndrome. She's basically, what she posted this GIF for was yes, my idea that I've championed. Oh, yes. Right, in response to Sanders voting to, or rather, vows to force a vote on a $15 minimum wage. And then you see a bunch of these motherfuckers cue the rad libs pushing or rushing to Bernie's defense after calling those who supported FTV on M4A grifters. Right, so, but I've got this thread here. Someone decided to make a thread that showcases how funny this whole situation is. So if you remember back in December when this whole dumbass force the vote thing with Jimmy Dore and Brianna Joy Gray and the Grift Gang started, AOC responded to it by saying that if you want to force the vote on something like a minimum wage, then I would support that. It's just that we don't have the votes specifically for Medicare for all, right? So the difference here, and I made a video yesterday about Jimbo Dumbo's dumb fuck video, so go watch that one too. But the idea here that these people think Medicare for all and a $15 minimum wage have the same levels of support, I'm sorry, it's just ridiculous, right? So AOC says and goes on, in contrast, you can use leverage to push for things that can happen and change lives, i.e. a $15 minimum wage vote in the first 100 days. Doable. So AOC came out saying that, yeah, I agree with forcing a vote on certain things when they've got more popular support, such as the $15 minimum wage, right? So now you see Brianna Joy Gray go out there with the grifty Grinch emoji. And then we have so many bizarre comments. And I want to say thank you to Hater of Bad Ideas on Twitter for giving us this nice compilation here. AOC never said force the vote on minimum wage. She said we could not force the vote for Medicare for all and pointed to minimum wage increase as one of her excuses. AOC was completely wrong because we didn't force the vote on Medicare for all and didn't get $15 minimum wage, even though Harris could overrule. It's political theater where oligarchs win. Now, I agree with that last sentence. But again, so this person says AOC didn't advocate to force the vote on a $15 minimum wage while linking a tweet of AOC advocating to force the vote on a $15 minimum wage. Apparently, Kamala Harris didn't get to this message about using leverage she has to overrule the parliamentarian to actually legislate for $15 minimum wage instead of just performative pandering tweets about it. So again, linking AOC's tweet saying that she wanted to force a vote on a minimum wage increase while saying that that's not what she said. So that's some pretty intelligent stuff. She isn't this naive. She has just become her final form, a Democrat. What? And then someone else says, welp. And again, what? This tweet didn't age well. AOC is a joke, they say. Now again, how does the tweet not age well? What is that Okay, so she says in December that forcing a vote on a minimum wage increase would be a lot more likely and doable than doing so on Medicare for all at this current point. And then that exact thing starts to happen, and apparently that's not aging well? I was just what? She traded being tough on Pelosi for a $15 minimum wage vote, which Dems dropped after not actually fighting for it, and for her and her colleagues to be denied important positions of leadership. This is called terrible politicking. This one's good. So apparently Brianna Joy Gray's been like shitting on Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur's been trying to do this, like, getting Bernie to... Basically, from what I understand, Cenk Uygur and the TYT network has been trying to push Bernie to force a vote on the $15 minimum wage with, I believe, a hashtag called Don't Kill It Bernie. I haven't followed it too closely, but a couple people have linked me some stuff. And so Brianna Joy Gray is shitting on that because they have Nancy Pelosi's daughter in some, like, Zoom call or something, which, you know, Nancy Pelosi, she's garbage. Christine Pelosi, she's garbage. That's correct. But if you're trying to get actual legislation passed, hey, maybe, you know, sucking up to the fucking leadership of the party, maybe that's not the worst idea. So I'm just saying. Cenk is arguing for hashtag force the vote. Don't kill it Bernie. Also says we should support Neera's nomination because it would be bad look for Republicans to control the cabinet. So Brianna Joy Gray is part of this like Zoom call or something, and she's basically just leaking out like a bunch of shit and making fun of them the whole time. And again, the next day, Bernie Sanders comes out in favor of hashtag forcing the vote. So I think that this is really funny. And if you look at these replies here, and specifically the quote tweets, let me look at the quote tweets. When you're right, you're right. That's amazing. Yes, because this time the goal, it's just like, again, like there's all these people out there. Look at this one. This is great. More progressives who like to waste time talking about how they think they were right months back, wasting time attacking Force the Vote and focusing on Jimmy Dore while ignoring a fuckload of us who came out strongly for it. Like, again, you see all these fucking morons, right? Like, again, like, I don't really, like, what else do I do besides play the laugh track? Like, seriously, like, I just... And you look at the replies. Like, look at the replies here. Look at the replies. The fucking cough. I love the cough and the laugh track. But again, like, this shit is just hilarious. And it's just really fucking funny. Will people claim it's performative if it doesn't get passed? If Dore talks about it, will people claim it's stupid? Again, I made this video attacking this stupid fucking video here yesterday. But I just want to talk about, like, again, Brianna Joy Gray and the Grift Grinch squad is just really going hard on this for some reason. Like, I just don't understand. Like, the actual serious political analysis here is that the $15 minimum wage was campaigned on by the Biden-Harris campaign. They did not campaign on Medicare for All. So again, does it suck that they didn't campaign for Medicare for All? Yes, it sucks. It's garbage. I hate them. But they did campaign on a $15 minimum wage. And if they campaigned on something, we should try to hold their feet to the fire. They also campaigned on decriminalizing marijuana, which they can do with executive authority. They could have done it a month ago. They chose not to. They could do it today. They're choosing not to. They could do it tomorrow. I have a guess. They'll choose not to. So we should try to hold their feet to the fire on what they campaigned on, right? And the idea that they're going to go out there and mock that. It's like, oh, I had an idea that was completely different, but it had similar parliamentary procedures, so therefore, I'm the winner of the discourse. I'm sorry, man. But Brianna Joy Gray is a full-time grifter. She doesn't give a fuck about actually advancing political agendas, and all she really cares about is entrenching her brand as some weird, like, you know, counterculture, like, fucking... What's the word? Starts with a C? Contrarian. And it's just, honestly, it's pathetic. And then, like, her and Jimmy and the People's Party are creating this bizarre movement of people that, like, again, there is now legitimate pressure on the president and the Democratic Party to get a $15 minimum wage. Are these people going to be doing phone banking? Are they going to be agitating for it? Nope. That was the goal of the original hashtag Force the Vote by Jimmy Dore, was to disengage and depoliticize people in the online left media space. Right? It's a lot better for those in power to have 1 million plus Jimmy Dore super fans who don't want to actually push for progressive policy than to actually want to push for progressive policy. If I were a health insurance executive and I wanted to throw a couple $1 million at destroying any chance of a Bernie 2024 or any outside political pressure groups from, you know, a leftist perspective, you know what I would have done? I would have done exactly what Jimmy Dore did. I would have put up an impossible standard while watching it fail, right? And then saying, look, everything's impossible, folks. Now, is Jimmy Dore going out there and saying that we need to work for mutual aid organizations? Is he going out there and saying that we need to protest and we need to, like, you know, let's say work with anti-fascist organizations, police abolition organizations? Is Jimmy Dore going out there and promoting communist agendas? Is he going out there supporting the DSA or other outside groups? No. He's going out there and supporting himself. Brianna Joy Gray is going out there and supporting herself, right? They're not doing outside pressure. They're not doing inside pressure. They're doing self-aggrandizing meme shit on Twitter, and they're accomplishing nothing while convincing and programming their hundreds of thousands of followers that there's nothing that can be done. And that's the problem here. Because there are things that can be done. They just choose to do nothing. And then, when people actually do things, they will make fun of them. They will attack them. Force the vote, right? The Jimmy Dore, Brianna Joy Gray bullshit. I could not have even dreamt of concocting a better plan to destroy online leftist movements. If I were Michael Bloomberg, I would be sitting pretty right now if I saw Jimmy Dore's Force the Vote videos, because he got exactly what he wanted. And that is a disengaged, depoliticized online left. And it's sad. To be honest, it's sad. But, you know, that's my segment on that. Yeah, I gotta take this off. It's getting a little hot now.